Yeah, there's a lot of things in that game we could have done to not put ourselves in that situation. Caleb had a great game. Wasn't for Caleb, might even have been in that situation. A great sack bunt, real tribute to our. I know I'm off subject, but you get so many times guys come up through the system, hit third or fourth their whole career, and they come up here and hit eighth or ninth, and they don't know how to bunt. That's what I kind of took out of it. I just text Brian Graham and them nice going. That's what I take out of it. I was really proud of Caleb tonight. He did a heck of a job, made a lot of good decisions, and there's a lot of things we could have done. We just haven't solved their pitching 2 games. We have to do some things to not create that situation. But I understand where the focus will be when you're 1 pitch away. There's a lot of places in that lineup where you have to pick your poison. Not many good decisions.
But the attention does fall.
Pardon?
The attention does fall in the close in a game like this.
Well, I understand that. Go ahead with your question. I'm sorry.
Just what do you see from Tommy?
Just 1 pitch away, and then he's made some pitches. The guy makes a good pitch on Avila, and he hits the ball off the end of the bat, and not much you can do about that. It's a tough decision for the replay people to overrule. There's another out, and made a close pitch on Hunter. Got fortunate that Ian Kinsler's ball was right at somebody. He hit that ball pretty firm. But now you're pitch away. But once you get into that corner of Cabrera and Victor Martinez, you don't like getting there. Plus they got Kinsler and Hunter sitting there.
That's what I was going to say. When you look back at it, I guess the walk to Hunter was kind of one of the bigger at bats.
Yeah, but what do you want to just give in and just throw him right down? He's trying to make a quality pitch there. You got to count in his favor, and we lost the advantage we had there.
Talk about how hard it is to get the balance now. How it's been there for you. There's no confidence shaking out or anything like that.
Well, everybody's human. Of course there is, but everybody, ask the guy that finished up the game for them tonight. Early in the year, he couldn't get anybody out. It's tough. And unfortunately, in a night like this, what kind of gets lost in the shuffle is how well Jimenez pitched. Yubi was great. Against a team that's seen a lot of him and have a lot of at-bats off of him. And, he very quietly is pitching pretty well for us right now. I know you've noticed. But Darren had a good clean 8th fourth. We just, 1 pitch away and a couple of breaks. The whole... I talked to Bob after the game. Not after the game, but during the pitching change, he gave me an idea what they said, and just as respect to give me an explanation of what they were told. So I really don't think that's fair to them and the people that they work with your fellow umpires, and but I appreciate it. I don't always agree with everything, but they, I think we have the same looks they do. I know they got that from a Detroit feed, I believe, but that wasn't what beat us. We can always look back, and if we'd been on the other end of it, usually those that close. But it's all in the eye of the beholder.
Are you seeing the same Tommy Hunter in the 9th this year as you saw in the 8th last year?
Well, Tommy had some hiccups in the 8th, but there's another inning. It's just like we talked about before today, before batting practice. There's a certain finality about it, and it's challenging, and we take a step back and take a breath and see and evaluate where we are, where our people are, more importantly. And the problem is, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. We got to make a pitching move tonight, which I'll give y'all as soon as I get back to the locker room for Gauze tomorrow. He's had his moments where he's pitched real well. So really, it's a really tough part of the lineup there.
Obviously, the leadoff hitter today was kind of a fluky hit, but Tommy has given up almost an average of 2 base runners per inning, and a lot of leadoff base runners.
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Does that push you at all towards the idea of, if Darren's going good, let him have the first batter of the 9th or anything like that, and looking going forward?
Well, the first batter of that 9th was a left-hand hitter. There's always another. What you're going to end up doing is trying to use 2 or 3 people every night to pitch the ninth inning, and you're going to have trouble getting through the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning. So I'm talking about Peter and Paul. I get it. If we get the outing we got out of you minutes every night, yeah, we could do things like that. But that's hard to do, especially against the Tigers. You'd really like take advantage of as good outings we got. I mean, unfortunately, Smiley's one of the, I thought last year, I told some of y'all, one of the best young pitchers I've seen come in the league in a while. And he really wasn't carrying his normal late slider. But that's what I'd like. We didn't put a whole lot together off of it. But I understand where, in today's world, where the focus goes.
He doesn't have a whole lot of experience as closer, Tommy. Do you kind of worry maybe mentally how it's going to handle this stretch here?
Worry? Yeah, I don't know if worry. It's something that you're alert to. You're alert to. You don't. He closed the first, second, third, and fourth innings as starter. He closed the 7th and 8th inning as a relief pitcher. I mean, there's a different finality. I told you. We talked about it. So, yeah, you're alert to it, but you're not. Fearful's not the right word. It's just, you're alert to it. You keep an eye on it, and if there's some adjustments need to be made, we'll make them.
Kind of follows on what he said, what Pete had asked. I mean, when Jim Johnson went through these rough stretches last year, you did stick with him. You never really faltered from that. Obviously, he had more of a track record in these situations than Tommy Hunter does. Is it fair to assume that you'll stick with him?
Dan, I understand you got to ask it, and I respect that. I'm not going to get into handicapping. This means that, and that means this, and we're going to, like I just said, we'll constantly see what gives us the best option to pitch 9 innings, and be competitive and continue to be in first place, and that's what we'll do.
What do you think of Jimenez tonight?
Yeah, you couldn't ask for much better. That's a tough lineup. He had everything working. Caleb did a great job with him too. Caleb will get the cerebral part of calling a game and being engaged. You can see he really slowed the game down tonight. The first couple of games he caught, it was moving real fast for him the 9th inning, but we'd have been sitting here talking about probably Caleb if we'd have gotten the out call, which I beat y'all to it and talked about him anyway.
Logical explanation of why a ball looks like such a different picture in May doesn't make sense.
You know what, Rock, if we knew that, he'd have made a lot more money. I wish I had all the answers to everything. You make educated evaluations, you hope, and live with the consequences, but there's a lot of slow starters. It's not something you just can evaluate through, it's a track record thing. That's why you don't panic in April, and when certain guys who have a track record, and that's also why you clamor for guys to establish a track record. Manny's not centering up every pitch, but he's got a little bit of track record from last year, and he's coming through some things. So I thought Jonesy had some of his better bats of the year. I hope that kind of bodes well for where we go with him.